Hello students, welcome to the Science Online class. Today I am going to explain the chapter Cell Structure and Function of class 8. In this video, I am going to explain what is cell, the various discoveries related to the cell variety in number, shape and size, organization of the cells in organisms, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, cell structure and the function, and the difference between the plants and the animal cell. So here we'll do the comparative study of the plant and animal cell. Students, what is cell? Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of every living organism. Various scientists have contributed regarding the discoveries of the cell. So the first credit goes to the Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke in 1665 observed the cell in cork cells and he called the little boxes as the cell. So he observed the cell under the microscope for the first time. Next, Antony van Leeuwenhoek. In 1665, he observed the structure of the cells under the microscope in different living organisms. Schleiden and Schwann, Rudolf Virchow, they together developed the cell theory. So there is one more scientist called the Robert Brown. Robert Brown, he discovered the nucleus for the first time. So here are the basic discoveries of the various scientists. So let's move to the cell variety in number, shape and size. So based on three categories, cells are of various types. First category, that is based on number. So cells based on number are divided into two parts, that is the unicellular organisms and the multicellular organisms. So unicellular organisms mean the single celled cells. So they are found in amoeba, yeast, bacteria. Multicellular organisms are those organisms which have more than one cell and they are found in the plants or the animal cells. So next category, that is based on size. So cells are of different sizes. For else, largest cell you will see in the ostrich egg cell or the acetobularia. The smallest cell is found in the mycoplasma and the PPLO. PPLO means the pleuropneumonia-like organisms, and this is the smallest cell which is present. The longest cell which is present in our body is the nerve cell. And nerve cell, you all know that it is the structural and the functional unit of the nervous system. So all these nerve cells, they are carrying the messages from the brain to the different organs and from the organs back to the brain. So this is the longest cell which is present in our body. Now based on shape, cells are of various shapes like irregular, which you will see in the amoeba and white blood cells. Round or spherical, you will see in the egg cells. Spindle shaped cells is observed in the muscle cells. elongated, thin and branched cells in the nerve cells. Here, the structure of this nerve cell it is given. You see the image. Next, kidney or the bean-shaped cells. These cells you will find in the guard cells of the chloroplast. Long and rectangular shaped cells you will see in the mesophyll cells of the leaf when you will do the transverse section of the leaf. You will observe under the microscope these mesophyll cells. Next, the disc-shaped or the discoid-shaped cells, they are found in the RBCs. So RBCs, they are of disc shape. Let's move with the organization of cells in the living organism. Students, we all know that every living organisms are made up of the small components which are called as the cells. When cells, they are combining together and performs the same function, they form the tissue. When several tissues, they are combining together and perform the same function, so it is called as the organs. And where different organs, they are combining together and perform the same function as the organ system. And when organ systems are combining, so it is forming a living organism. So here you are seeing the diagram of the different levels of cellular organization. So first is the cell. First is the cell. Second is the tissue. Third is the organ, and then the organ system, and then organism. So this is the different levels of the cellular organization. So here we are comparing these different level of organization with the house here in this image. So here cells, basic blocks, and when these blocks they are combining, they are forming again this tissue, and when this ultimately will form the living organism, that is a complete house. So here we have done the comparison of the cellular organization of a living organism with the house. Now children, based on origin, cells are of two types, that is the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cells. So prokaryotic cells means the primitive cells, the old cells which was developed, and it is found in the bacteria. If you see the difference between the prokaryote and the eukaryote, here you are observing the structure here, that a prokaryotic cell is not having the nuclear membrane which is enclosing the nucleus, but here in the eukaryotic cell you see that it is enclosed by a nuclear membrane. In the similar way, the eukaryotic cells, they have several membrane bound cell organelles like the mitochondria, like the ribosomes, like the endoplasmic reticulum, like the Golgi body. So all these membrane bound cell organelles are found in the eukaryotic cell, while these prokaryotic cells do not have the membrane bound cell organelles. In prokaryotic cells, the mitochondria is not present, while in eukaryotic cells, the mitochondria is present. So in prokaryotic cells, the genetic material, it is freely suspended in the center. That means it is not enclosed by the nuclear membrane. While in eukaryotic cells, there is genetic material, that is the chromosomes, they are present inside the nucleus. Next, the next difference, if you will see here, that the cell wall is present in the prokaryotic cells, and they have a locomotory organ like the flagellum, while this flagella, it may be flexible or it may be membrane bound in the eukaryotic cells. And if we talk about the ribosomes, so here in prokaryotic cells, the 78 ribosomes are present and 88 ribosomes are present in the eukaryotic cells. The genetic material of the prokaryotic cells is the circular DNA, while in eukaryotic cell, the DNA is linear. So yeah, so these are the differences between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cells. Now let's talk about the cell structure and the function. Students, cell is broadly divided into three parts, that is the cell membrane, the cytoplasm, and the nucleus. The cell membrane, it is the outermost layer of the animal cell, while it is the second-most layer in the plant cell. Second part is the cytoplasm. If you divide this word cytoplasm, cytos means cell, plasm means the fluid. So we can say the fluid which is present inside the cell is called as the cytoplasm. And inside this cytoplasm, the different cell organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, lysosomes, vacuoles, ribosomes, plastids, all these cell organelles are freely suspended in this cytoplasm. The third part of the cell is the nucleus. So nucleus, we'll study the structure of the nucleus here in the later on slide. So you will see that nucleus is composed of four parts, that is the nuclear membrane, nuclear sap or nucleoplasm. We call this nuclear sap as the nucleoplasm, nucleus, and the chromosomes. Here you are seeing the image of the animal cell and the plant cell. The basic structure it is given, which is showing the difference between the plant and the animal cell. Now, let's move with the cell membrane. The cell membrane, it is the outermost layer of cell that allows the movement of the substances both inward and the outward direction. So here you are seeing the structure of the cell, which is observed in the onion peel cells here. So basic three structures you are seeing, that is the cell wall, the nucleus, and the cytoplasm. So cell wall is present in the plant cell while it is absent in the animal cell. So below the cell wall is the cell membrane, which is present in the animal cell, and this cell membrane, the outermost covering, which allows the movement of substances both inward and outward of the cell. It also acts as a boundary which separates the cell content from the outer environment. So in plant cells, I have already told you that in plant cell, the cell wall is present. This is the additional cell membrane, which is composed of the cellulose And this cell wall, it protects the different cell organelles present inside the cell and gives shape and support to the cell. So this is the basic function of the cell wall in the plant cell. Now the next part, cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, I have already told you, if you break the word, cytos means cell, plasm means the fluid. We can break this word in another way. Kyotos means hollow, plasma means liquid. Now this cytoplasm, it is a jelly-like fluid which occupies the space between the cell membrane and the nucleus. So here you are seeing the cytoplasm. It is a fluid which is occupied between the cell membrane and the nucleus. So here you are seeing in the onion peel cells. Now the cytoplasm, I have already told you that it is composed of a number of tiny components which are called as the cell organelles, and these cell organelles, they are scattered in the cytoplasm. So what are those cell organelles? Like the endoplasmic reticulum, plastids, ribosomes, mitochondria, and the Golgi body. The next part of the cell is the nucleus. Nucleus, we all know that it is a spherical structure which is present in the center of the cell in the animal. Animal cell, you will see this nucleus is present in the center, while in the plant cell, this nucleus you will observe at the periphery of the cell membrane, and this difference you will see in the later on slide. So this nucleus is known as the control center of the cell. The control center, why we called as? Because all the functions are controlled over by this nucleus, and this nucleus, it consists of 4 parts, that is the nuclear membrane. So this nuclear membrane, if you are seeing, this is a porous membrane which separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm and allows the movement between the cytoplasm and the nucleus through these tiny pores called as the nuclear pore. Here you are seeing the structure of nuclear pore. This nuclear pore is allowing through these only the movement of materials takes place. The next part of this nucleus is the nuclear sap. So nuclear sap, it is the fluid, jelly fluid-like structure which is called as the nucleoplasm also, and it fills the entire nucleus. The third part of this nucleus is the nucleolus. This nucleolus is a spherical structure which is present inside the nucleus, and it plays a major role in the cell division. Chromosomes. So these are here. These are thread-like structures which are present inside the nucleus, and it carries a number of genes, and these genes are carrying the characters which are transferred from the parents to their children. So we have discussed the structure of the nucleus here. So this is a two-dimensional structure. Here you are seeing the same parts. Let's move to the different cell organelles. Students, cell organelles at your level, I have only just introduced the different cell organelles with their functions, and this detailed structures of the cell organelles you will study in the later on classes. Let's start with the first cell organelle, that is the mitochondria. So this mitochondria is called as the powerhouse of the cell. Why we call this as a powerhouse of the cell? Because it provides the energy to the cell. The second cell organelle, that is the endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum, it is responsible for the synthesis of protein, storage and transportation of the materials. They all takes place through this endoplasmic reticulum. I have introduced this word earlier also in the structure of the animal and the plant cell. The next cell organelle is the Golgi bodies, and this Golgi bodies is responsible for the secretion of many materials. Next cell organelle is the lysosomes. These lysosomes, they are found only in the animal cell and it is absent in the plant cell. They are generally called as the suicidal bags. Why we called as the suicidal bags? Just because the lysosomes, they engulf the bacteria and the old and worn out cells which are present in the living organisms. So that is why we call these lysosomes as the suicidal bag. The next cell organelle, that is a vacuole. Vacuoles, we all know that this vacuole is present in larger shape in the plant cell, while in the animal cell it is very small in shapes, and it stores the excess water, the useful materials and the different waste products in this vacuole. The next cell organelle is the ribosomes. So ribosomes just help in the synthesis of the proteins of the cell, and that is why we call these ribosomes as the protein factory of the cell. The last cell organelle, that is the plastids, and we all know that these plastids, they are found in the plant cell while it is absent in the animal cell. These plastids are of three types, that is the chloroplast, the chromoplast and the leucoplast. Chloroplast, so these are the green colored plastids. They are present in the green part of the plant and contains the chlorophyll, which helps in the photosynthesis process. The chromoplast, that is the colored plastids, they contain the colored pigments like the xanthophylls and the carotenoids, and these are giving colors to the fruits, leaves, etc. The third type of the plastid is the leucoplast, and leucoplast, it stores the food materials, especially in the especially starch, and you will see this in the potato. The leucoplasts, they are present in the potato. So here you are seeing the basic structure of the plants and the animal cell. The difference you are seeing, I have already discussed that the cell wall is present in the plant cell and it is absent in the animal cell. The cell wall is made up of the cellulose. The second difference, that vacuoles, I have already discussed that the vacuoles, they are usually larger in size. Here you are seeing the vacuole and it is covering the most part of the plant cell. While in animal cells, the vacuoles, they are smaller in shape. So spherical like structures, dot structures, here you are seeing. Plastids, they are present in the plant cell while it is absent in the animal cells except the euglena. Euglena is the animal cell, but it having the plastid. Next difference is the Golgi bodies. These Golgi bodies is present in the plant cell in the form of dictyosomes, while this animal cell, they are highly complex and prominent Golgi apparatus is present. Centrosome and centrioles, they are playing major role in the cell division, so they are absent in the plant cell and is present in the animal cell. So here you have studied the comparison of the both plants and the animal cell. The diagram is also shown here. So you will see the difference between these two kinds of cells. So what we have learned so far, that is what is cell, the various scientists and their contributions in the discovery of the cell, the different organization level of cells in living organisms, the variety of cells based on number, shapes and sizes, the difference between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cells, the structure of the cells and their functions. We have studied the cell membrane, the cytoplasm, the nucleus, and the different cell organelles like the endoplasmic reticulum, plastids, ribosomes, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, etc. So I hope this chapter is clear to you, students. I will come again with another video. Thank you for watching this video.